Hello everyone, this is Lena from Indian Weekender, and I have Mr. Jacob from AJV Global to share some updates about Immigration New Zealand. And before I start with that, I would like to let you know what AJV Global is. AJV Global has a team of experts, and AJV Global is an end-to-end education and migration company helping you choose the most suited immigration option for you. They are the team of experts. They give onshore support. They are the global team. They operate globally across Canada, India, Malaysia, New Zealand, Oman, and USA. Last but not least, they have 90% visa approval rate. Am I right, Mr. Jacob?
Absolutely. Hi, Lena. Pleasure to be back again with your wonderful media firm. Yeah, and to do this interview.
सर अभी तक मैंने जितना बताया वो मैंने बिल्कुल ठीक बताया एजीवी ग्लोबल के बारे में.
हाँ बिल्कुल. I moved to New Zealand in 2001.
Right.
और to be honest मुझे ये immigration से कोई रिश्ता नहीं था. I come from an office automation background.
Right.
I work with Xerox and Canon and Tata Teleservices.
Yes.
So that's my background. पर लेकिन जब मैं यहाँ आया था, I fell in love with New Zealand so much. I said I must use my skills and my talent to attract good quality people to consider New Zealand as a home. क्योंकि वो ज़माने में लोग सिर्फ US, UK देखते थे, you know, and
right, yes.
New Zealand was very far away from their radar. So that's how my journey with immigration.
सर हमको तो पता भी नहीं था कि न्यूजीलैंड भी कोई कंट्री है उस टाइम पे 2002 में.
Correct.
जब वो मूवी आई थी कहो ना प्यार है तो.
Correct, exactly.
उसके बाद से ज़्यादा न्यूजीलैंड का नाम.
उसके बाद से हाँ. So New Zealand immigration should send a thank you note to Hrithik Roshan for.
Actually, should be the brand ambassador of New Zealand tourism.
In fact, when Helen Clark was the prime minister and she was visiting India, she actually presented him with a special gift back in the day for actually putting New Zealand on the map for a lot of Indians.
Right. So first of all, I would like to thank you for giving us your precious time to give some more immigration updates to our viewers.
My pleasure.
Because सर इस टाइम पर बहुत कुछ चल रहा है हमारे माइग्रेंट्स के एक्चुअल दिमाग के बीच में कि क्या होगा, क्या नए अपडेट्स हैं, एप्लीकेशंस कौन सी अभी इमिग्रेशन की साइट से खुली हैं, कौन सी बंद है, कौन सी कैटेगरी हमें अप्लाई करनी चाहिए, कौन सी कैटेगरी नहीं अप्लाई करनी चाहिए. तो सर आप प्लीज आपसे हमें ये एडवाइस तो चाहिए, प्लस हमें आपसे ये भी जानना है कि कल जो एक अपडेट आया है इमिग्रेशन न्यूजीलैंड ने दिया है इन्वेस्टर कैटेगरी में भी, वो भी we want you to tell our viewers about that too.
Absolutely. Now, I think what happened with the whole immigration process over the last year and a few months ever since COVID came is I think it allowed everybody, including the government of New Zealand as well, to sort of step back, take a few steps backward and look at this whole system from new eyes. Because it gave them that forced break from not having to deal with thousands of applications, because पहली बात तो borders पूरे बंद थे, so you know they could not let anybody in. So because let's not also forget that the Labour government came into power stating that they will cut down on immigration numbers. So this COVID was a godsend because you know it kind of held them to not only live up to their election promises, but it also gave them a good valid reason to reset some of the immigration policies. So abhi kya keh rahe ki they are saying ki abhi se we will relook at immigration as a vehicle to attract high quality, highly skilled people who will benefit New Zealand and sort of move away from that low quality, low skill kind of people entering into the country. Isi wajah se I think they are moving very strongly in the direction of entrepreneurs and investors. Because let's look at it, entrepreneurs and investors, they do 2 or 3 very important things to the country. Pehli baat to unka capital lekar aate hain, which is required for the revival from the COVID setback. Dusri baat, they will also create local employment, which is again a very essential part of the whole COVID recovery plan. So मेरे ख्याल में I think they're going to move away from this, move away from the low skill, low category, moving into, the largest contingent of, and I'll talk specifically to our Indian community because, this is obviously the Indian weekend interview. India, say, if you look at it, majority would always be the cohort of international students who would come here, on temporary visas and then work towards getting their work visas and then get their residence eventually. But usme bhi kya hai? Levels of quality the. So you have the students coming to the universities for PhDs, masters, postgraduate diplomas, bachelors, and then there was also a big bunch of students coming for what is normally considered as lower skilled, lower quality courses like diplomas and stuff like that. So मेरे ख्याल में they will go to kind of revamp that and give more precedence and more importance to the top 4 or 5 categories.
Thank you, sir. But at this moment, अगर हम अभी ये बात करते हैं invested category, चलो ये तो हमारे businessmen और investors के लिए है, जिनके पास already बहुत पैसा है. But यहाँ पर जो हमारे migrants आए हुए हैं न्यूजीलैंड में 5 or 6 years से, इनफैक्ट उससे ज्यादा यहाँ पर हैं, they are still struggling. उन्होंने applications डाली हुई हैं permanent residency की, 2019 में डाली है, नवंबर में, 2020 में, मार्च में की एप्लीकेशंस डाली हुई हैं, बट वो एप्लीकेशंस अभी तक उठी नहीं है, मतलब कोई भी इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर साइन नहीं हुआ है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऐसा क्यों है और कब तक आपको ऐसा लगता है कि इमिग्रेशन न्यूजीलैंड विल स्टार्ट assigning the immigration officers to these applications? I mean, they will start opening these applications and working on it. कुछ ऐसा आपके पास कुछ update है?
So about 4 days back, there was another report in another media outlet which said more than likely they will actually lapse a lot of these skilled migrant category visa applications that are already, and possibly even offer a refund back to some of these people. So so this is, this came out in another media outlet, and so there was a lot of turbulence, and we received quite a few calls from different people. I mean, but aisa hai, Lina, and I'm talking at a very high level thing, is once a government decides to follow a particular policy, it is very difficult for individuals to take on that particular policy and try to change their opinion. Of course, they haven't yet taken the policy decision that they will lapse the applications. They are only hinting that they might do it, and they're also hinting they'll move more towards the high quality, high value, highly skilled kind of people. I mean, so your question was, what about the people who are already here? And
and put the application, it's they are still awaiting to hear something from Immigration New Zealand, from immigration officer on their application. लेकिन अभी तो कुछ भी उनके पास information नहीं आ रही है. It is just like blank. They even don't know what to do, whether they should apply for Canada or they should go back to their country, because they're still spending money over here in their rent, in their car, and obviously on daily needs also.
So I think I will quote a sentence that somebody just emailed me, and this gentleman is a very, very senior professional who actually worked with the government of New Zealand in a very senior position, and he is somebody with whom I keep exchanging a lot of information. And so I'm reading his sentence that he wrote to me as an email. He says, "I like the government's strategy to focus on quality, high-value migrants, but makes New Zealand look elitist." These are his words, not my word. In contrast, Canada is going hard with marketing post-study work visa and taking in large numbers of students to support their institutions and grow the population. I think Australia will go the same way as Canada. So this is not my words, Lina. These are words of a very senior ex-officer who worked with the government of New Zealand, and in fact represented New Zealand in foreign delegations and stuff like that. So मेरे ख्याल में the word he used makes a lot of sense. Looks like New Zealand is moving into the elitist kind of a mindset as far as immigration is concerned.
Yeah.
क्योंकि मैं बताया था ना मैं आपको कि मैं 2001 में आया था, तब तो डोर्स इतने वाइड खुले थे, anybody and everybody could come in and and practically get their residence in a couple 2-3 years time.
इनफैक्ट आई
But
हर्ड पीपल स्टोरीज कि वो तो कहते थे लोग जैसे रोड पे जा रहे हैं शॉप से पकड़ लेते थे, वो बोलते थे उनको कि आप आ जाओ हमारे साथ काम कर लो.
correct, correct. So from that time to now, because the demand for New Zealand has been going higher and higher, the number of people coming in here also has kept going higher. And when the demand, when the demand was not high for New Zealand, the government had no option but to pretty much accept anybody. But abhi jab demand बढ़ गई, so they are able to open and close the doors whenever they want, and that is where. So where does it leave all these people? Unfortunately, it leaves them in a moment of transition for immigration policies of New Zealand. And my only advice to all the people who are watching this is, if you're still wondering what is going to happen to me, if you consider yourself that high quality, highly skilled, you have come here and studied in a good institution, are already working in a good organization based on your post-study work visa, and not, unfortunately, a lot of our Indian, young people also end up in smaller organizations. Sometimes they're working in liquor stores, sometimes they're working in smaller, very small companies and stuff like that. So I think for those who are working in genuine organizations and with a genuine qualification, I don't think there's going to be a problem. But at the lower end, I think there might be a bit of a backlash. So I would say, uh, look at Canada, look at Australia. You've already, and probably you've also earned back your money that you invested into New Zealand for your education, क्योंकि आपको 1, 2 या 3 साल का post study work visa already मिल चुका है. Earn your money. Look at other bigger countries which are keeping their doors wide open. Just the way immigration New Zealand, just the way the government of New Zealand took few steps backwards and looked at their immigration policy. As a company, we at AJV Global, हमको भी ये करना पड़ा कि we take 2-3 steps backwards, क्योंकि हमारा 100% फोकस न्यूजीलैंड पे था. बट विद ऑल दिस चेंजिंग सिनेरियोस, हम भी सोचा यार हम तो मर जाए, द वी गोइंग टू
Absolutely, how are you going to survive? आपकी इतनी बड़ी टीम है, मतलब इन सारी most of them are working for New Zealand. So
exactly
this market is actually not
exactly
giving you guys an
correct.
option.
Absolutely, it's not just the migrants, even we are suffering because of the policies of immigration New Zealand. So my advice would be, if you think you don't have a strong footing in New Zealand, contact us immediately at AJV Global, because as I said, we also now started expanding ourselves into Canada. We moved away from the 100% New Zealand focus. We already appointed a very senior manager in Canada who has got that RCIC, जैसे अपने पास licensed immigration advisor कहते हैं, वहाँ RCIC बोलते हैं. We already appointed who, she is actually an ex-immigration manager of New Zealand, who moved to, and so she now has a license there. So we said we'll open the door. So if some of my clients come and say, sir, I'm not able to find a job and I can't see a future in New Zealand, we will give them 2-3 other options. Consider Canada, consider Australia. Okay, New Zealand, I think, is going to get very picky and choosy.
Very difficult. So, sir, अभी जिन लोगों की applications लगी हुई हैं and they have not heard back anything from New Zealand so far, I mean, उनके लिए what do you reckon? Should they? I mean, like obviously nobody would want to do it, but what should they do? अगर मैं इतना सुनने के बाद, तो अगर मैं होती तो मैं तो अपनी application वापस लेती and then मैं अपना पूरा काम start करती towards to get into Canada or Australia or any other country which is actually accepting us.
मेरे ख्याल में it might be a little premature to withdraw your application. वो मत कीजिए. अगर, क्योंकि अगर गवर्नमेंट खुद अगर लैप्स करने वाले हैं तो मेरे ख्याल में वो तो रिफंड भी दे देंगे. So I don't think prematurely people should withdraw their applications.
If they
let it sit in there.
If they withdraw their application, so they would not get any refund from Immigration New Zealand if they themselves.
Yes. That's right. Because because immigration would say that you've already used our service to a certain extent, so obviously there won't be any refund.
Right.
So मेरे ख्याल में taking withdrawing your application would be a little premature. Don't do that. Hang in there, because it's all in a state of flux. ऐसा हो गया अपना situation कि every day there's some new news coming out. So
Yeah.
let's wait and watch.
Hmm.
And I go back to what I said earlier. If you have come here into this country, done a good course from a good institution, in a good job, I think more than likely you will still be considered because it'll sort of come under that highly skilled sort of a thing
Okay.
and high quality. But at the same time, don't start making your backup plans as well, because all said and done, New Zealand is a country of 5.5 million people, as compared to something like Canada or Australia or some of these larger economies, and they will have a much higher capacity to absorb more people than New Zealand will have the capacity. So, मेरे ख्याल में, do not withdraw your applications, but start planning for
Or
some
some
other.
other countries. And how much is the success rate for Canada, sir?
So we have only just started doing Canada, Lina, and we are already working with close to 100 clients. Interestingly, there is already a lot of interest from students and people on work visas here in New Zealand who are also wanting to shift
Go-
outside New Zealand.
yeah.
क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल में हाँ उनको भी समझ में आया यार यहाँ we are going to find it a little difficult. So we haven't, I can't yet talk about a success rate for Canada because we just started it a few months ago.
Yeah.
But our team is extraordinarily, competent. As I told you, it is headed by an ex-immigration manager who now has a Canadian license. She is based in Toronto in Canada. And then we also have our backup teams in other parts of the world as well.
Wow.
So I'm quite certain we will replicate our success rate with Canada as well.
Right. So, sir, Canada का मेरे को एक और information चाहिए for our viewers. If they are on work visa over here, so do they need to apply for student visa or they can directly apply for work visa?
More than likely, Lina, and again, it won't be right on my part to comment on Canada क्योंकि मैं तो
Because you're not yeah,
न्यूजीलैंड का लाइसेंस्ड इमिग्रेशन एडवाइजर हूँ मैं.
right.
मैं तो RCICI नहीं हूँ मैं.
But
what we do is अगर किसी को इंटरेस्ट है कि कनाडा की तरफ देखना है तो we ask them to come and get a free consultation from us.
yes.
To come and send your details to us to AJV Global. और हमारा टोल फ्री नंबर भी है 0800-696977. Call and speak to our team. We have a big team here, and all your details will be forwarded to the RCICI,
and
who
they
will assess.
Yeah.
Correct. And then tell you कि आप direct work visa apply कर सकते हैं या express entry के लिए apply कर सकते हैं या student पास से आना पड़ेगा या I think there's another program called PNP in Canada. So all that assessment will be made and send back to you saying, yeah, for you, this was the best option to consider.
Okay. And sir, obviously it is not just the service from New Zealand, and if people are there in India, they can also contact you.
Absolutely, Lina. In fact, our largest team is in India because that is the largest market for us, of course. And as I told you, we are a team of 50 plus people. And thankfully, despite COVID, we have been able to hold on to them somehow or the other. Yes. Yes, only I know the stress. Only I know the stress as the CEO to how I've been holding on to them.
Actually, yes.
But as I said, we have 9 licensed advisors for New Zealand, 1 for Canada, and out of these 9, 2 also have a license to provide Australian immigration advice. 3 of them actually have. And so we will be able to service our clients whether they are in India or New Zealand. Interestingly, there are some students who are wanting to apply to study in New Zealand from Australia, जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रह चुके हैं और उनको भी वहां कोई फ्यूचर नहीं लग रहा. They are saying let's jump to New Zealand. So I think it's a constant, what do I say, search for that ideal destination. Yes.
That's right. Okay, sir. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope people will get some sort of direction, like where to they should move in. And I would suggest everyone, whosoever is watching this video, that this is not the end of the story. What you need to do is, if you are confused and if you think that, okay, nothing is happening in New Zealand, then I would suggest don't waste your time. If you did not apply for your residency, then don't waste your time. talk to AJV Global. They have a team of experts. They will talk to you. They will advise you what to do next, which country is good for you as per your qualifications and as per your experience. And definitely they're gonna guide you. Or AJV Global ke Arun Jacob, he is always available on phone, and he is ready to advise you what to do next. Then I would request you to kindly contact them. And हाँ जी सर बताइए.
I have one last word of advice to all our viewers, Lina, and I would like to share my own personal experience. मैं बताया था ना कि we are constantly looking for that ideal destination, and sometimes पहली बार जब आप पत्थर फेंकेंगे नहीं लगेगा.
Right.
In my own life, I first tried to settle in the US. Did not happen. They considered me as low skilled.
Okay.
Then I tried in UK. Did not happen. They again considered me low skilled because I'm only a commerce graduate. And finally, I found my destination here in New Zealand. Thankfully, New Zealand did not consider me low skilled. And today I sit in exactly. Today I have started a successful company in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I have created employment for a lot of people in New Zealand. I have created such a good revenue for New Zealand. So what USA could not see, UK could not see, New Zealand saw in me.
Yes.
And I found my place here. Likewise, don't lose heart. Maybe your true destiny lies in some other location and not your first location or your second location, like how it happened with my own life. So don't lose heart. You need to be confident about your capabilities, and you will find that place somewhere or the other. By and large, all Western countries have the same lifestyle, and I'm happy you'll be whichever country you go to.
Right. So आपको करना क्या है? कुछ नहीं करना. आपको अरुण सर अपना प्लीज 088 नंबर जो है 0800 नंबर वो प्लीज आप एक बार बता दीजिए.
Yes.
So that
अगर आपको कुछ भी एडवाइस चाहिए in a friendly manner, frank manner, please call 0800 696977. That is our number, and we are available Monday to Friday. Just call and talk to one of our competent team members, and we will take care of you.
थैंक यू सर. वैसे तो इनकी टीम आपका फोन जरूर आंसर करेंगी. इन केस अगर आप उनको कांटेक्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं तो आप मुझे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, एंड आई विल आस्क देम टू कांटेक्ट यू डायरेक्टली. एंड माय ईमेल एड्रेस इज lena lena@indianweekender.co.nz. आप मुझे ईमेल कीजिएगा और I'll make sure कि आपकी जो भी क्वेरी है it will be answered by them. So बाकी कोई भी जानकारी चाहिए, we are always available, and we will make Arun sir to answer your questions whenever you have. And please do call them and ask for the right advice. Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lena, for the opportunity once again.
Thank you so much, sir. And to our viewers, please don't lose hope. And something is better than nothing. You are still in this country, not in India at this moment. But yes, definitely, kuch na kuch acha zarur hoga. Thank you so much.
Thank you.